Alright, back for the third pack, and it is a really good one. It's going to be kind of a tough pick, actually. We have a Pursuit of Flight, as I mentioned before, one of the #1 reasons to be in Izzet, and Annihilating Fire, which I mentioned earlier was on my wish list, and a Martial Law, which is awesome. My issue is, let's go back to color sort. My white is very minimal at the moment, still only 3 cards that are only single white. Splashing Martial Law is not going to be an easy feat, with only one Azorius Guildgate, and there's one in this pack that may not come back around, so I'm not going to count on it. I think my pick right now is going to be between Pursuit of Flight and Annihilating Fire. Those are probably the best cards for us, besides maybe Azorius Guildgate for the fixing, but for just a card, it's going to be actually in our deck and counts as a card. I'll take Annihilating Fire. You never know, Pursuit of Flight could come back around if I'm lucky. Okay, so let's go back to cost sort and take a look. I'm looking at this Gorehouse Chainwalker because, as I mentioned before, it's really important to keep your mana curve low if you're in a Zet. It's either going to be Chainwalker, Imposter, or like Crypthorn Horror, and I don't like the Crypthorn Horror in this deck for obvious reasons, being that, you know, we don't have many creatures that actually do damage in large quantities. Although I guess Bluster Squall is kind of a combo with the Horror. I still don't think I'm going to take it here over the Chainwalker. Yeah, I'm also looking at Fairy Imposter, which does have a couple combos, like Azorius Arrestor and Lee of Sky Knight, assuming that we do stay in white at all. What I'm thinking about right now is just splashing the Sky Knight and the Rescue, cutting the Arrestor, in which case the Gorehouse Chainwalker would be very good for us, so I'll do that. So now we have an Izzet Key Rune. I would rather this was an Azorius Key Rune, so we could splash our stuff, but that's okay. There's also a Dynacharge and a Tristani's Judgment. Removal-wise, we have Annihilating Fire, Paralyzing Grasp, Dramatic Rescue, plus 2 counterspells that we might main deck and 1 sideboard, which doesn't actually remove anything, unless it's like Eyes in the Skies. I don't know, actually. Dynacharge wheeled from the last pack, so probably not going to take it here over either the Key Rune or Judgment. I don't know what is the correct pick here, but I think it's the Judgment.
Yo, what do you do once you've done the assassination thing?
What do you mean?
Like,
alright, sorry about that interruption. This is a good pack for us as well. We have a Transguild Promenade, which would help us splash pretty easily. A Bloodfray Giant, which I like a lot. A Guildgate, again to splash, but I'd rather this was an Azorius Guildgate. An Action Injunction's okay. Bluster Squall, as I mentioned before, is very good. I think the pick is just pretty clearly the Bloodfray Giant, just based on what we have in our deck so far. We only have 12 creatures, which is kind of on the low side, so I want to try to pick up some more aggressive creatures if I can. Let's see. Spirit Skywatch is fine. We have 2 Tenement Crashers, but this is a pretty good 6-drop. Possibly better than the Crasher. Not sure about Tristani's Judgment, but it's either that or Fall of the Gavel, which most likely won't make my deck, is what I meant to say. Azorius Arrestor, as I said, the first one is pretty iffy as it is, so I think I'll just go with the Skywatch, even though I don't really like having 4 6-drops. It's generally not fun. There's another Izzet Key Rune in this pool, and I'm probably going to take it here, mostly because I have, you know, a bunch of 6-drops. Hopefully the other one wheels, but you know, no guarantees. And everything else in here is good, but not great. It's not the right gate. We have an Inspiration or Rune Wing. I think I like Rune Wing a little bit better than Inspiration, actually. Again, because we need the body, and it's probably just a better card. Alright, let's see if we can take a look at what we can cut out of this. Dispel, Downsize, Arrestor, Doorkeeper, cancel, which brings us to 24, which is good. We only need to cut 1 more card if we get nothing else. We're down to 13 creatures though, and 3 of them are 6-drops, which is a bit worrisome. I don't want to play against Sluiceway Scorpion. Alright, we get a Guild Gate, which I'm definitely taking over Tower Drake, because we already have 3-drop flyers. And yeah, we want the splashing. Not gonna play any of these, not really worried about any of them, except Rubbleback Rhino, I guess. Alright, Dynacharge Digital Wheel, as I semi-expected. Which brings us up to 25 playables. Wow, and Bluster Squall wheeled. Yeah, we might just play all these. And, you know, normally I say control doesn't work, but when you have 3 Bluster Squalls, there's some chance that you can get there. When you have Tenement Crashers and Bloodfray Giants, which are pretty much Tenement Crashers on turn 4 with Trample. Yeah, and a Jace, which is, you know, pretty much all you need in a blue-based control deck, as long as you draw him. Yeah, we have some defense. I could end up bringing back the Doorkeeper, depending on what things look like after our deck construction finishes. It's possible that, like, Gorehouse Chainwalker doesn't make it, if our curve doesn't look right for creatures. I like Pursuit of Flight, though, which is good. I wish I had picked up, like, a Stealer of Secrets or something, but obviously we're in fine shape so far. Oh, here we go. Fireman's Foresight gets me a Bluster Squall, and it gets me Dramatic Rescue and Annihilating Fire. My brain is turning. Cobble Brute's fine, I guess. You know, if there was one deck that Fireman's Foresight belonged in, it would be this one. So pretty much it would, like, what I could do is, like, get up to 8 mana, pass if they have a big guy, pay 7, get all the stuff I need, Bluster Squall, Rescue, Annihilating Fire, and then, you know, use them. And also Dynacharge, so I don't know. It's probably not going to make my deck, but I'm very, very tempted right now. Okay, we're considering 27 cards right now, which is obviously 4 too many. First card to go, sadly, is going to have to be Fireman's Foresight. Sorry, buddy, not today. Although we do have Electromancer, Bluster Squall, Dramatic Rescue, and Annihilating Fire. You still cost 7 mana, which is too much for my blood. One thing I noticed right now is that we have a very blatant lack of 5 drops. I brought Syncopate over here because that might be what we have to just hold our mana open for that. Although if we're lucky, we'll just get a Key Rune out, and then on turn 5 we'll be playing 6 drops. Which I might cut one of right now. I don't know. We have a kind of a low creature count, so I might want to cut one of these other cards. I think Trader's Instinct might not make the deck, because like I said, we're not very aggressive at the moment. Our win conditions are like our 6 drops, some random flyers, and Jace. I don't know. We might also have to cut a Bluster Squall, which is a little disappointing. I'm also considering this Splash of White, Dramatic Rescue, Live Sky Knight, Tristani's Judgment. I think it's going to be good enough because of the gates that we can include it, but it would bring us down to the number of cards we need in our deck, but probably still not the correct move. I think it might just have to be one of these Bluster Squalls, even though I love the card. I don't just want them sitting in my hand, and it would just telegraph too easily to the opponent if we left our mana open every turn for like Syncopate or Bluster Squall. So we'll cut one of them. And what else? How good is Electromancer going to be for us? Dynacharge, Bluster Squall, Annihilating Fire, Syncopate, Tristani's Judgment. Yeah, and actually that would make Tristani's Judgment a 5-drop if we had out an Electromancer. Electromancer kind of counts as a land if you're in a instant sorcery heavy deck. Like, that's how it was explained to me when I started playing Blue-Red Storm in Modern. The Electromancers just pretty much count as a mana rock as long as it sticks around. So one more card we need to cut. I guess it is the... I don't know. I'll just cut the Jace. No, I'm kidding. I would never do that. I promise. So removal-wise, we've got Dynacharges, Bluster Squalls, Dramatic Rescues, Annihilating Fires. Maybe we don't need to splash Tristani's Judgment after all. We have nothing to populate, so it's just pretty much a 5 or 6 mana removal spell, which is fine, but I don't know, it's tough. Maybe we just don't go with the control magic, or we do, because we have Bluster Squalls, we're keeping our mana open anyway. This is a tough one. I don't like Paralyzing Grasp a whole lot, and we have other things to do on turn 3 anyway, so I'll just go with that. And we have Tristani's Judgment to take care of things anyway, Annihilating Fires, etc., etc. So I'll go with that. Let's bring in our lands. So we have, let's go color sort really quick. 3 cards that need white. I'll pull those over here so you can see. 2 double red cards, 3 double blue cards. So yeah, let's see what they suggest. They want 6 island, 4 plains, 4 mountain. That's too many plains for sure. We're just gonna go probably 1 more plains, so we have 3 white sources. Basically, if you go by statistics, that would mean, 3 white sources would mean there's roughly 1 plains or 1 white source for every 13 cards, which means that we would see a white source within the first 5 draw steps or so, maybe 6, which I think is acceptable. And then that would put us up to maybe like 7-5. That would give us 12-13. Let's try 7 mountains. Let's see what this does. 3 sources of white. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sources of blue, or red rather. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 sources of blue. So 9 blue, 8 red, 3 white. I think that's okay. I only need 2 red unless I have an Annihilating Fire or Bloodfray Giant in my hand. Neither of which are like necessities, but like the blue is necessitated. I don't know. I can't think right now, but I still think this mana base is correct. Mostly blue, and then red second, and white a distant third. And yeah, we'll just we'll go with this, and hopefully take it down.